Hi students, welcome to this video session. By now you know my name, right? You know my name by now, Samuel Chukwu Emeka. In this video session, we shall do the study guide for your quiz 2. Please, it is highly recommended that you have done your homework prior to viewing this video. You might still view this video even before your homework because some of the questions we shall explain here are also similar questions like that are also in your homework. So let's get started. Factor completely and simplify. Number 1, we have 20p squared minus 4p4. So what factoring do we use here? We shall use factor by GCF. We're going to use factor by GCF. So, you know, all the videos I have put out there for you, it is highly recommended you view those videos, you know, prior to viewing this video. All those videos I put out there for you. Now, what is the GCF of this? We have a 4p squared, and you do 20p squared divided by 4p squared, that gives you 5, minus 4p4, 4p exponent 4 divided by 4p exponent 2 will give you p squared. Now number 2, you have 1x cubed plus 4x squared plus 4x plus 16. So here you have to factor by grouping. This is factor by GCF. This is factor by grouping. So you group in twos. I like using the vertical method. Some of you might decide to use the horizontal method. That's fine. So this is 1x cubed plus 4x squared, and then this is 4x plus 16. So this gives us what? X squared. You now factor by GCF. Because one thing with factoring by grouping is you have to group it first, then you factor by GCF. So this is x squared, x plus 4, and this is 4, x plus 4. So once you see that this is equal to this, you can drink some water. Okay? You now bring it out. X plus 4 times x squared plus 4. And that becomes your answer. That's it. Question 3. M squared minus 2m minus 63. Here you factor quadratic trinomial. So you remember the steps I listed in my previous videos. You remember the steps? Negative 63 times m squared is negative 63m squared. Then you look for factors. 1 and negative 63 will not work. Negative 1 and 63 will not work. 2 will not work. 3 and negative 21 will not work. Negative 3 and 21 will not work. 4 will not work. 5 will not work. 6 will not work. 7 and negative 9 will work. 7 and negative 9 will work. So m squared plus 7m minus 9m minus 63. Okay? Now if you don't want to do difference of two, if you don't want to do leading coefficient to be negative, you know, you can write m squared minus 9m plus 7m minus 63. It doesn't matter. So you factor by grouping, then by GCF. Okay, I like doing vertical method. This is m plus 7. And when you have a leading negative, you factor the negative out first. Okay, so this is negative 9. Negative 9m divided by negative 9 is m. Negative 63 divided by negative 9 is plus 7. So your factors will be m plus 7 times m minus 9. These are your factors here. Okay, question 3. Question 4. You have a rational expression 21y minus 7x divided by 8x minus 24y. Alright, so you want to factor by GCF. You want to factor the numerator and the denominator by GCF. So this will be 7, right? This is 3y minus x divided by 8x minus 3y. And in my video we have done this. You know, when you have 3y minus x, x minus 3y, you could now say that this is the same thing as negative 7 x minus 3y over 8 x minus 3y, because see why we did this here, and I've explained this in my video. If you have negative x minus 3y, if you expand this is like saying negative 1. Okay, so if you expand it, this is negative x plus 3y, which is 3y minus x. So when you have it like this, what you want to do is to make it so that you can cross out this. And how do you do that? This means negative 1 times the denominator. So you can cross it out. Negative 1 times 7 is negative 7. And now you can cross this out. And then your answer will be what? Negative 7 over 8 as your answer. Question 5. Complex numbers. Adding of complex numbers. Question 5. 7 plus 4i plus 9 minus 3i. Adding complex numbers or addition of complex numbers. So let's remove the parentheses. Let's expand it. This is 7 plus 4i plus 9 minus 3i. Let's get the like terms. This is 7 plus 9 plus 4i minus 3i. Okay, and this will be what? 16 plus I. 16 plus I. So remember, usually they require you to write it in the form of the standard form of a complex number. Standard form of a complex number. A plus bi. Okay, a plus bi. So what is the real part? The real part is what? What's the real part? The real part is A, which is 16. What is the imaginary part? Imaginary part is B, which is 1. Because this means 16 plus 1i. That is what it means. If you view my videos on complex numbers, we did this kind of question. What is the imaginary unit? Imaginary unit is what? I. Then what is the pure imaginary number? Pure imaginary number is bi, which is in this case 1i. Okay, so that's how you do it. 16 plus I or 16 plus 1i is still correct. But you know, you can't say 1i is still correct, but you want to say I. Question 6. 3 minus 5i times 3 plus 5i. So let's multiply this and put it in the standard form of a complex number. put it in standard form of a complex number, a plus bi. Okay, so, you know, I like using vertical method as well. 3 times 3, 3 times 5i, negative 5i times 3, negative 5i times 5i. So this is 9, this is 15i, this is negative 15i, and this is negative 25i squared. Okay, you write it out. This is 9 plus 15i minus 15i minus 25i squared. But you know, but what? I squared is what? Negative 1. Okay? We know that I squared is negative 1. If you view the videos. Now this is 9. This is gone. Minus 25 times negative 1. Which is 9 plus 25. Which is what? 9 plus 25 is 34. Okay? Now 34, but if you want to leave it in this form, it will be what? 34 plus 0i. So the real part is 34 and the imaginary part is 0. Now, is there a simpler way I can do this without having to go through these steps? Yes, that's a simpler way I can do it. We learned factoring by difference of two squares. Difference of two squares. Remember that difference of two squares, when you have a squared minus b squared, it is equal to a plus b times a minus b. And vice versa. And vice versa. Or you can say vice versa. Alright. So this is a, and this is vice versa. Okay, a plus b times a minus b is a squared minus b squared. So when you have this, you have a minus plus, this qualifies as difference of two squares. Okay, this is second method. Second method. This is a second method to solve it. Okay, so this will be, this is the same thing as saying 3 squared minus 5i all squared. Now, the mistake that some students make, if they are using this, the error that they make is, if they write it like this, 3 squared minus 5i squared, like this, then this is an error. That is the mistake that students make if they write this. They put only the squared for I. That is wrong. Okay, you have to put the 5i all squared, because here a is 3 and b is 5i. So 5i is treat it as an entity. So this will now be 9 minus 25i squared, which is 9 minus 25 times negative 1, which is 9 plus 25, which is 34. Which is 34 plus 0i. So that's another way you can do it. Difference of two squares. Question 7. Product of 3 plus 3i and its conjugate. Well, we know that the conjugate of what? Of conjugate of 3 plus 3i is what? 3 minus 3i. So this is like 3, you know, just like difference of two squares. You know, we can just do difference of two squares. It's easier to me. I mean, if you want to multiply, you know, if you want to do the expansion, that's fine. This is now 3 squared minus 3i all squared, which is 9 minus 9i squared, which is 9 minus 9 times negative 1, which is 9 plus 9. Okay? 9 plus 9 is what? 18. And 18, which is 18 plus 0i. If you want to leave it in the standard form of a complex number, a plus bi. is the standard form of a complex number, a plus bi. I as an ink, not I. Find the vertex of the function. So you have this function y equal to negative 5 x plus 1 all squared plus 4. Find the vertex of this function or of the parabola. Let's quickly recall some things about parabolas. Okay. The easiest way to solve, now there are three methods to solve vertex. You have three methods or three ways to find vertex. To find the vertex. And I know, I like giving students several ways of solving problems. Then you now choose which way is better for you. But I'll teach you the easiest way I like to do this kind of question. In this video, you can find the vertex by graphing. You can put this in a graphing calculator, and if you put it in a graphing calculator, you find the maximum point. Maximum point, you have to trace it. You trace your point to find the maximum point. Okay. Now I have done some videos on if you have a TI-84 or TI-84 plus. I did some videos on using those calculators. You can put this in a graphing calculator and then trace your point. Find the maximum point. That is by graphing. That maximum point gives you the vertex. Or you could expand this. If you expand it to be in this form, this will be your vertex. Or the easiest method to find the vertex, by visual comparison. By visual comparison, if you compare this is negative 5x plus 1 all squared plus 4. If you compare this with x minus h all squared plus k. So by visual comparison, okay, your vertex is hk, right? So visual comparison, you will notice that the vertex is what? You know that negative h is 1. So h is negative 1. So this is negative 1. And then k is 4. This is your vertex. K is 4. Okay? By visual comparison. And of course, you know that if you have this, okay, if a is greater than 0, then parabola opens upwards. Okay? But your a, you know that your a is what? Negative 5. Although you don't need your a anyway. You don't need this. You don't need your a. This is the answer here. Negative 1 and 4 is your vertex. And we shall check this. We shall use this to check our work. We shall do it this method also. And then for graphing, you can use your graphing calculator to check it. Now if a is less than 0, we know that parabola opens downwards. Okay? Downwards. It opens downwards. Now here parabola opens upwards. It's going to be like this. It will be like that. Then if a is less than 0, like you have here, it will be like this. Let me use this color. The graph is going to be like this. Okay? Then if a is less than 0, the graph is going to be like this. Parabola will open downwards. If absolute value of a is greater than 1, right? Then if absolute value of a is greater than 1, that means that the parabola will do what? It will narrow. And then if absolute value of A is less than 1, then parabola will widen. Okay? I mean, this is just for extra knowledge, your knowledge. If it's 1/2 or 1/4, if this is like 1/2, then you see it's gonna widen, the parabola will widen. But if this is like 2, 3, 4, 5, okay, it will narrow. And I did this in my video. You can, play with it. You test it and play with it. Now, let us just, for the purpose of verifying whether we got this right, let's expand this and use this method to see whether we will get the same answer. So if we expand this real fast, this is -5, x plus 1, and this is, you can put this like this, then plus 4. So y will be -5. This is x squared. I'm using horizontal method now. X squared plus 1x plus 1x, 2x plus 1. Okay, plus 4. So y will be -5x squared minus 10x minus 5 plus 4. So y will be -5x squared minus 10x minus 1. Now you compare this with y equal to ax squared plus bx plus c. Right? Now if you compare it with that, what will happen? A is what? A is -5, B is what? -10, and C is what? -1. Right? Now, your vertex, like we said, vertex is -b over 2a, then f of -b over 2a. That is if you substitute it for y. So, -b over 2a, x is -b over 2a. The x coordinate of the vertex, the x coordinate of the vertex is -b over 2a, which is what? -10. -10 over 2 times -10, 2 times -5. Negative, then b is -10 over 2a, 2 times -5. So this is what? 10 over what? -10, which is -1. So the x coordinate of the vertex is -1. You see -1. We got that. But some of you will say, Mr. C, why are you using this method? You could easily use visual comparison and see it here. Let's get that of y. So, if we get that of y, we now see that y, if we now substitute it to get that of y will be -5 times -1 all squared minus 10 times -1 minus 1. So that is, because that is what this means. This means whatever you get as x, then f of x is y. F of the x is y. So this is -5 times 1 plus 10 minus 1. Y will now be -5 plus 5. Plus 9. Because -5 plus 10 minus 1. If I do it PEMDAS. If I do it order of operations, I have to do left to right. So this is a 5 minus 1. So y is 4. So the vertex is the xy, which is what? -1, 4. So the same thing. If you choose to do this method, -1, 4. If you choose to use this method, -1, 4. the same thing. If you look at this now, you have negative 2 over 3. How do I make this to be 1? I want to isolate x. That is what I want to do. So what are you going to multiply this by to give you 1? What will you multiply it by to give you 1? So, by visual, you can do it visually. You have to multiply it by negative 3 over 2. So that when you multiply negative times negative is positive. So that 2 can cross out 2 and 3 can cross out 3. So that you have 1. That is the way you do it. If you want to do it algebra, that's fine. Some people will do, what will I multiply this by? Negative 2 over 3 times what will I multiply it by x to give me 1? And then you solve for x. If you want to do that, you can also do that. But this is something you can visualize. So whatever you do to the left hand side, you have to do to the right hand side. This is an equation. So this will be x negative 2 over 3 times negative 3 over 2 equal to 25. This is like saying 25 raised to power 1. That is the same thing. Times negative 3 over 2. Okay? So you see this now. This is gone. This is gone. Negative times negative is positive. So x is what? 25 exponent negative 3 over 2. And then you view my videos on exponents, laws of exponents. These are fractional exponents. So this will give you now that x is what? Square root of what? 25 raised to power what? Negative 3. Square root of 25 raised to power negative 3. So this gives you what? X will be square root of 25 now. This is plus minus. Okay? 5 raised to power negative 3. Square root of 25. Okay? Is plus minus 5 raised to power negative 3. So x, from here you now find that x is 5 exponent negative 3 or x is negative 5 exponent negative 3. Whichever one you want to do. So this is x equal to 1 over 5 cubed or x equal to 1 over negative 5 all cubed. So x will be 1 over 125 or x will be 1 over negative 125, which is negative 1 over 125. See that? You see that this or this? Negative 1 over 125. Now, I want to say something. You can also, from here, you can also have it this way. Square root of 25 exponent negative 3. You can also do 1 over square root of 25 exponent 3. And then once you do this, once you see square root, it's good you put plus minus. Plus minus. Okay? And then x will be, this implies that x will be 1 over plus minus 5 exponent 3. So that gives you this. And of course, they expect you to put it, you can put it as intervals. So the answer now is x will be, this is braces, what we call braces. This is not coordinates. If it was coordinates, we will use parentheses. So it is not a point. They are just two solutions. So the braces, negative 1 over 125, comma, 1 over 125. Yeah. And then, I like to teach my students to go extra step. And that is what? To check your work. Check your work. So if we have to check our work, check. Anything called equations, I like my students to check. We have x negative 2 over 3 equal to 25. Left hand side, right hand side. Left hand side is x negative 2 over 3. Right hand side is 25. Okay? Now, we check for x equal to 1 over 125 first. Let's do this first. So this is 1 over 125 raised to power negative 2 over 3. Right? So if we do that, what do we have if we do that? We have that this will be what? Cube root of 1 over 125 all raised to power negative 2. And then this will be what? From here, it will be what? 1 over 5 all raised to power negative 2. Right? And with this, you could say that this is 1 over 5 all squared. Because we did exponents. Okay? Now this is 1 divided by 1 over 5 all squared, which is 1 divided by 1 over 25, which is what? 1 times 25 over 1, which is 25. 25 on your left, 25 on your right. So it works for x equal to 1 over 125. Then you check also for x equal to negative 1 over 125. You check it for x equal to negative 1 over 125. And if you do that, this will be what? You have negative 1 over 125 raised to power negative 2 over 3. And you know, you can put this in your calculator. I hope you know that. You can put this in your calculator. So this will be what? Cube root of negative 1 over 125. Negative 1 over 125 all raised to power negative 2. Right? And with cube root, you know that the negative still stays. You can do cube root of a negative. It will still give you negative. So this is negative 1 over 5 all raised to power negative 2. Which will give us what? 1 over negative 1 over 5 all squared. Which is what now? 1 over 25. Because negative 1 over 5 all squared is 1 over 25. Because if you have a negative base raised to positive, raised to even exponent, it gives you a positive result. We did that in exponents. So this will be 1 divided by 1 over 25. And that is 1 times 25 over 1, which is 25. Okay? I think we will stop here so that this video is not so long. This video will now have 3 parts. Okay? We will stop here right away so that this video is not long, and we will just continue part 2 immediately to finish up 10 to 18. So thank you for listening and sit tight. Hang in there. Hang in there. We shall continue.